Hey guys, it's Brad. Welcome to Southern Tuscany. You know, I've done videos on apartments like where I live in Monte Amiata, and the comments I get sometimes, not all the time, most people know. People that understand the real estate market here understand these things. When you're in a town like where I live, apartments are going to be 200, 300, 400,000. When you're in a town like this, not a tourist town, they're going to be much less. But you can't expect an apartment in Monte Amiata that can rent for 200 euros a night to be 40,000 euros to buy. That makes absolutely no sense at all. So I wanted to come show you some apartments that are 35, 40, and 60,000 euros. And we're going to see all of them in this one video. I don't want to take a lot of time yakking right now, but these apartments need work, different degrees of work depending on the apartment. We're going to go through them all. One of them has a garage and a big attic space. And the town is nice. There's a little grocery store, there's a bakery, there's little restaurants, a couple of different bars. But there's not a lot going on. And that's the difference. That's the difference in pricing. That's real estate 101 first day. So let's go see these apartments. I'm here invited by my friends Rune and Sonia, and they are available to help you find contractors and stuff. They were on the channel just about a year ago, and they had renovated a house in a nice town just about 10 minutes from here. And it had big views, and we sat and interviewed them, and they did a really nice renovation. And they're trying to help some local friends, elderly couple, sell off these apartments. So if you want a quick, good deal, and these are all asking prices, get in touch with them. I'll put his email here, and I'll put it throughout the video. Okay, let's go see what we got. All right, guys, so we have a triple play today. We're gonna be doing 3 different apartments here in Cinigiano. If you don't like the way I pronounce that, look it up, pronounce it yourself. Just kidding. So there's no electricity on in this apartment. This apartment is 35,000 euros asking price. And I gotta say, to start, the dining room is pretty big. This would be like dining, living. So people watch my channel, and when I do an apartment in Monte Amiata and it's 399,000, they say that should be a tenth of the price. Someone actually commented that the other day. Nice fireplace. This is a smaller village, doesn't have a big tourist flow. This apartment needs work. This is what you get for 35,000. And not a train wreck. This is the kitchen. Of course, if you don't know, in Italy, they take their kitchens with them a lot of the time, not all the time. If it's still there when you see it, you can negotiate for it, but it would be considered furniture. So that's your little galley kitchen, pretty good size dining room, little front porch. They've done some work here. You can tell that's not that old. The plugs and stuff are not that old. I think a lot of this you could do DIY. Another thing that's nice that they've done is these windows. These are double pane. That's good to have done. I haven't checked every room, but that's nice to have done. Another bedroom, nice beams. I don't see any watermarks in here. There is another nice window. The heater, I would try to put in a split system if I was going to take this. Remember, it's 35,000 euros asking price. I actually have this on low light, so they never keep the electricity on. Look, the tiles are in good shape. The plugs, in good shape. Even the sink, if you wanted to go cheap, you could keep the sink. I wouldn't keep the toilet and a bidet. You can get both of them installed for less than 500 euros. Probably much less. If you're at least a little bit handy, you could do it yourself. And then this has a tub. You just need to have someone come in and hook up the shower attachment. And it looks like that's not that old. Wait, that's just to hold it. Oh, sorry, it's a hot day. The hose is just down there, so that's just to hold it. Put in a shower curtain. Even the doors aren't bad. I would keep that. If you're buying a 30,000 euro home, you're not trying to make the Taj Mahal. You're on a budget. You're just using it a little bit. This has actually, by the way, some hookups in here, so I think maybe a laundry room. So it could be 2 bedrooms, a living, dining, kitchen, bathroom, laundry room. And just for 35,000 euros asking price, if I haven't emphasized that enough. All right, let's go see the next apartment. Okay guys, let's go see apartment number 2. Now this one is interesting. It looks a little rougher in condition than the first one. I do like the grapes hanging. That'll be nice when they come in. This is the apartment, again, yes, to be remodeled. You know, most of this is DIY. You got to strip down the walls. You're going to have to repaint, either sandblast or maybe paint this white, put a nicer color on the walls. The electrical, kind of a mixed bag. But let's see the apartment. So here's your living room, dining room. The kitchen's through here. When you're in Tuscany, and when you're looking at $40,000 apartments, this is what you get. Now keep in mind when we walk through this, that downstairs, there's an equal amount of space on the ground floor that's included. And that needs to be completely remodeled. We're trying to find a key. We cannot find a key right now. So this would be the bedroom, nice wood beams. What a difference not having them pink makes. Good sized bedroom. You know, if you put a texture on this wall, just pull the little nails, put a texture on the wall, painted it, maybe like a light beige, I don't know, a medium beige. This place would really pop. And the tiles are fine. I would just, by the time you get a king size bed, a couple throw rugs, you're not even gonna hardly see the floor. And then there's a church across the street, as always, and a little peekaboo view. Okay, so that's the bedroom. And then this is interesting. You know, I would build a cabinet out to cover this up. This wall needs to be completely gutted and redone, not taken down, just refinished. You have a fireplace, and then it's hard to see the size in here, but this could easily be a little living room, another bedroom, like a single bedroom, maybe even a full-size bed. The beam up here looks like it's metal, so they probably had some renovation work and seismic work done. There's very few earthquakes here. This area of Italy is green. You don't get earthquakes here, really. Okay, so downstairs there is an equal amount of space, and all this together is 40,000 euros. All right, so downstairs there's the same amount of space, and everything included, up and down, is 40,000 euros. Let's go down and see if we can see anything downstairs. So this like deck-like thing in front of this is included, And it's both of these doors, it's as big as upstairs, like I said. And I was gonna try to get tricky here. Let me see if I can get us at least a peekaboo look inside. Yowzers. Wow. So first things first, that's not as big as upstairs, but I think the other door is a separate room. You'd have to knock through. Number two thing, you got some work to do in there. But Rune and Sonia can get the keys and get some photos. If you're interested, just email Rune and say, hey, what was really in there? The upstairs is not too bad for 40K. And remember, these are asking prices. Could be very, very different than your actual offer and settling price. Don't forget, if you want to see properties that are virtually no money down, go to bradsworldrto.com. Easy payment terms directly from the owner of the property and no sales commission make these great deals. There's a very limited availability of these types of properties, so check out my website today. So you're not wanting for a view up here. So this is the third apartment, guys. It's the level of this balcony, and you get the attic, and there's a garage. But we're gonna walk into kind of a common area. And this one's in much better shape than the first two you just saw. But it's a little more expensive at 60,000. 60,000 euros. So this is your balcony. It's actually a decent size. That's your view. And then here's the apartment. And again, of course, the lights aren't on. I'll just leave the front door open. So we'll start with the bathroom. Good size. If you wanted someone to come in and redo your bathroom, depending on what you wanted to do, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 euros, you should be able to do it. And that would include putting in like maybe a shower enclosure instead of a tub. If you don't want to change the tub, then I would just DIY. New paint, maybe redo the tile yourself or keep the baby blue and just work with it. All the fixtures seem like they're in decent shape. Maybe just pretty the place up. This is a laundry room. So all the connections are here for laundry. The floors are in good shape. I don't know why they use so many different tiles though. The pink has to go. You're not Donetta. Donetta is Donetta. You can't get away with it. She wouldn't do this pink either, I don't think. If you don't know my buddy Donetta, she has a house that's all painted pink inside, but it's a beautiful light pink. There's not a whole lot going on in this house, but many people have been screaming for inexpensive apartments in Tuscany, and this is what you get. You get a quiet village. The kitchen's quite large, much bigger. Much bigger than the other ones. Another floor. Look at this view. So this is looking west, and we're very close to Grosseto, no more than 30 minutes. Beach is 1 hour. Where I live is about an hour and 20 minutes. Siena's probably an hour and a half. Rome's probably 2 and change because you're on smaller roads. So it's a windy day. Dining room, same great view. €60,000 asking price. And our friends Rooney and Sonia. They can help you find contractors, and they're here very nearby. Within 10 minutes is where they live. We featured them last year on Brad's World. Nice couple. They redid a house. I'll put a little snippet of the video here, or at least a screenshot if you want to watch the whole episode. Another pink room, another bedroom. I think with 20,000 euros, you can make this place really nice and have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment here in Tuscany. Let's go upstairs and see this storage area. You get the idea. There's lots of storage in here. I'm so goofy, I whacked my head on a beam yesterday at a farmhouse we were having lunch at. So I'm not going to even think about walking in there. More storage in here. Pretty clean, pretty nice. Now we got to go see the garage. Okay guys, so this is the garage that goes with it. Obviously you're probably going to need a new door if you want to put a car in. It is 8 by 5 meters, 40 square meters is about 430 square feet, more or less. And that all goes with the apartment. So the whole thing, 60,000, big storage in the attic, the apartment, and a garage space, lock and leave. I think it's a great lock and leave if you're looking to be in Tuscany. All right guys, I need a very cold water. It is about 34 degrees centigrade. That's around 90 something. But it's a labor of love. I'm so happy to have a license and be able to go out and do fun stuff like this. I'm 2 hours from home. That would have took me 9 hours in a bus. And I got here in 2 hours in my little car. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a nice town. It's a clean town. You don't see any trash. You don't see any graffiti. There's people here. There's tons of cars. There's restaurant. We're going to pass a beer garden right here. So there's lots going on in this town, but it would all be local. This is not a tourist town, okay? And again, if you're interested, get in touch with Rune. He's a nice guy. He'll take good care of you, help this elderly couple get rid of some of these family apartments, and you can take them to the next level. I especially like the last one, the 60,000 euro one. That was a very nice unit for the price with the views, and you could do a lot with it, okay? Olivia says hi. She wishes she could have been here today, but again, she's busy with her own life sometimes. She can't be spending every day in Brad's World. So she says hello, and we'll see you guys next time on Brad's World. Ciao.